their final move. I mean, you just put Dubai out to pasture. It's not coming back. I mean, I know you like looking at the restaurants. I hope that they put New York out to pasture after
Agreed.
this season.
Agreed.
Maybe if it's a bad season of Atlanta, just bring Nene back and give it one last try and then just freaking call it. Because I don't think this season is going to be, I don't see how it's going to be good if you try to edit Kenya out and she was there. And then it just doesn't seem, I don't know, maybe it'll be great, but it doesn't seem like, I mean, they're taking their time and editing. It's not coming this year.
Oh
I don't
my God.
know.
Like, come on. Like you need to, and the thing is, another thing that I think, not to like defend RHONY, because it's really,
Yeah.
and I really like Bryn. I talk to her a lot. I like
And
them.
please defend it. Like, I want someone to convince me that I am too harsh and that it's like it's my city, so maybe I'm harsher. But I try to convince me because I don't
I
like it.
listen, I can convince, Eskimo to buy ice, but I struggle with like this season because I think that people are right. I mean, it's if it was called like Girlfriends of Manhattan,
Hmm.
we give it a lot of breaks. But when you think about iconic moments in RHONY, whatever you feel about Ramona, if you like her, you hate her, they deliver. Sonia delivers, Luann delivers, everyone delivers, right? So when you watch the show, you're kind of expecting more, and especially the first season, it was so like calculated. But I actually, funny enough, like the first season more because now they're too self-aware. Erin sitting across her husband in serendipity, for God's sakes, telling him what to talk about. This is so rehearsed. And then you bring in Rebecca Minkoff, which Sai was right, is boring. I'm sorry. The Scientology thing is not interesting enough. As someone who works in Hollywood, everybody's a Scientologist. Like, that's not interesting enough. And you're also not going to let us in. You're saying no comment. I don't want to talk about it. And then you're saying all these weird stories. And then you come up with this orgy thing with the fake pregnancy. That really irked me because I was like, oh, finally, there's some legs to this season. And then it's a joke.
Not letting an audience in on a joke is a problem. And it's just, I didn't love the first season either. Like, now look, everyone knows what they're doing. I don't think the OGs are coming back, but like, it was just Ramona's birthday like the other week, and Luann posted a like, happy birthday, Ramona. And look, she has great social media people. Like, it was very calculated, but it was her and Ramona and Sonia and Dorinda. And it was so many epic moments. And yeah, you're watching this being like, I am so nostalgic watching this happy birthday tribute to Ramona from Luann. Of course, she made sure that Bethany was in none of these clips, but it was this like, yeah, these women just. My big problem is they don't know each other, these people. And it's like you
Mhm.
can fake it. And I know that like not everybody knows each other, but Salt Lake did. They had real, they were not best friends, but they knew each other. Like, this is so, I did a whole rant on this. I won't, but like, you mean to tell me in New York City, you can't find a real group that is wealthy? And I don't even think these people are like wealthy. Like, I want wealthy. Like, I want
Mhm.
really wealthy. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree.
You
I agree.
can't find that where it's completely diverse. I mean, bullshit. Or at least four friends, and then you bring someone in that's diverse because we have to show diversity. Great, as you should. But like, these people, it's so clear they don't know each other. So clear.
The thing with DEI is I'm all a fan of diversity as someone who's not white. Like, I want diversity, but when you do too much, it tends to be like you don't think about the show anymore, right? Like, so what they did
Mhm.
is just like that. It's like, let's put diversity on every corner and then forget the ethos of Sex and the City. And I feel like with RHONY, that's what's happening. It's like you forgot the ethos of RHONY, which is building around one, like, so for Ramona, right? Building around Ramona, all of her connections. They should have found one really funny person. And I get it. Jenna Lyons wanted to do this to be relevant. That's great, but you're not really letting us in. You're bringing in your fiance's mother. I'm like, this is not gonna assuage the audience. We're not gonna go, oh, thank you so much for bringing in the mother. Like, that's frustrating. And it's funny because when Raquel came on, I was like, oh God, okay, another story about a woman who left her husband and coming out. But she actually is the only one who is telling us everything, is going to the art show with her fiance, is telling us about what happened. The fiance is interacting with Abe, and it seems like a natural friendship, calling him Gabe. Like, I was like, the four of you are more interesting than all of the other people. Uba doesn't want to be on it. Uba found a
Yeah.
man. She's unsubscribed to being on the show. Jessel is funny, but we're not really seeing her work. We're all we do is we see her and her mom. And no offense to her mom's not very likable. So I'm like, you keep showing the mom, and it's like we don't want to see her.
And I find Jessel tries the hardest of all of them. And I agree, Uba is literally like when I think of the show, I'm like, oh God, I forgot about her. I'm like, no shade. She does not want to be there. She does not contribute anything. She just doesn't want to be there.
He doesn't want to
And
be.
Bryn is extra too. She's trying, and then there's these off-camera moments where she's saying, like, don't do this and don't. I'm like, you're showing us now that it's produced. Like, just freaking call this. I can't wait to see what the ratings are in the next few weeks. I know Sai did a thing on her Instagram where she was like, please stick with us. The drama that happens in Puerto Rico or wherever, Bermuda, wherever this cast trip is. First of all, it ain't a good sign when you're literally looking into your audience and saying, please stick with us. And second of all, I mean, this is going to make it worse. Like, we have been here for 18 seasons of RHOC. Like, Luann married Tom and he left. Karen Huger has a real DUI. Like, we have been Erika Jayne. The world has come to throw her on that cross and crucify her. Like, you are promising some real drama. And like, it better be something real, because if it's not, it's going to
Yeah.
be in like another, like, I think it's real drama, but do you know what Housewives is? Like, do you understand like
Oh,
Kyle and, the Brandy slept with Denise, maybe. And like, we have been through a lot. You
we've been.
better, right? And apparently Rinna called bots and Diana and this. And I mean, right? So it's like, I think Sai saying like, just stick with us. The cast trip is so intense. They're all saying that. Yeah, I think it looks intense, but like, what is it about? It better be something really egregious, or we're just going to be like, honey, this is like Housewives 101. Like, this is the kindergarten version of drama, and you don't even know what the hell you're talking. Jen Shaw's in jail. Like, she's
Yes,
still
yes,
like,
yes. Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure. For sure. We need the like receipts, timelines. If it's not going to be that Heather Gay screaming at the top of her lungs in Bermuda or whatever they are, I'm going to be very disappointed. And the difference between RHONY and Salt Lake is that Salt Lake has been delivering. So when they give us a mid-season trailer of Meredith yelling and screaming and people crying and Heather getting into it, we're like, okay, you've been delivering and you're going to continue to deliver. But when you're going to tell us, like, stick with us, we're going to give you this mid-season trailer of what? Uba cutting to the white meat again. Like, she's been doing that the whole time, calling her a snake. And then she's saying you advertise for Boot Barn or Dress Barn. Like, come on. Like, it that's like standard. And when they come on these shows and say, guys, let's not fight and let's not. No, I like when Uba calls Jessel basic. That's funny. So they're
Yeah.
like, they don't say that. It's like, that's Housewives. Like,
It is Housewives. I just don't understand. First, it's the same production company. It's the same production company. So I don't understand. Like, the difference is Meredith, and I say this all the time. Meredith is like off center. Lisa, but like, these people are batshit off center in the best way possible. Like,
there you
Meredith
go.
Marks, to me, I'm so intrigued. She is so monotone. The whole family is monotone. And I mean this as a compliment. I am
Same.
drawn to watching Meredith Marks on the TV. Lisa Barlow, this, that, the Wendy's, it doesn't seem like put on. Yes, okay, obviously you got to deal with Wendy's and blah blah blah, but like, Lisa Barlow is still, she when she flies off the handle and wants to call everyone to investigate this, and she don't speak bad about her. That she loses her shit. She's batshit. Mary is batshit. Like, they are just
Oh, Mary is so good.
interesting, right? They are interesting people to watch. Bronwyn ain't going nowhere. She's interesting, whether you like her or not. So it's like, I mean, so it's like, I don't understand how this is what you came up with. They're lovely people. I've had Erin on this podcast. She is lovely. Her publicist, one of my favorite publicists besides you, of course, I have ever